Are we good? The mic is on. What a great intro. What a great intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live edition of the Full Command Show. I'm going to need to edit that out before that posts on YouTube, but we are here. What's going on, Scale? What's going on, George? What's going on, Brian? Appreciate you guys all joining me. We are basically just going to hang out and watch the NFL Combine together. That's all we're going to do. Now, unfortunately, I can't actually show it to you guys. So if you have two screens, you got a phone and an iPad or a phone and a TV, something, encourage you to throw it up on the screen. I'm going to minimize myself here in just a second, and I'm going to share the live results from the events. Boom. There we go. So I'll have this up and we can kind of scroll through this, and then we'll all just have the combine on in the background. But anyway, I thought it would be fun because, I mean, I was going to be watching the combine anyway. I'm sure a lot of us were going to be watching the combine. And I thought it would be fun for us to just, take it in together and talk about what we see. HTTC, appreciate you, Jackson. What's going on, my man? How you doing? I didn't see much of the events earlier because I was actually at the gym. It was shoulder day, trying to get the shoulders right when the defensive tackles were doing their stuff. So I'm just going to take a little scan through here and talk about what we see. Anybody watch the defensive tackles? What was your biggest takeaways? Let me know. Zane Durant with the 4.75. He was cooking from what I saw. Zane Durant was looking pretty good. Did he have, let's see. Oh, the split. There it is. That's what I was looking for. He also had the fastest 10-yard. Okay, 1.66. Let's see. It looks like they're still waiting to get the edge rushers out on the field, so we don't have anything to talk about right now. But yeah, Zane Durant was cooking. I saw Jackie Marshall. He looked good. I saw not LT Overton. Tim Keenan. Saw Tim Keenan did some really good stuff on the bag drills. Honestly, I think defensive tackle is probably the position group that I've done the least scouting on. So in all honesty, I probably should have been paying attention to that more than any other. But like I said, it was duty calls at the gym. So we're here for the edge rushers, and that's what I care about. How you guys feeling today? How we doing? We got officially less than 2 weeks until free agency, 13 days. Here's a question for you all. Matter of fact, go to the comment section. And if you guys are joining me in the live stream or you're watching the rebroadcast, hit the like button. It's the number one way you can support me. You know what to do. And subscribe if you're new around here. We're on the climb to 5,000 subscribers. I'm also live streaming on Twitter. This is the second time that I've done this. So if you're seeing me there and you're not following me, then why not drop a follow on there? But yeah, my question for you guys is, if I do make these longer streams a thing, would you like me to have some background music for y'all? Get like lo-fi hip-hop beat loops in the background? If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. Genuinely, I was looking at adding it into this stream, but I couldn't quite figure out how to do it in the 2 or 3 minutes I was looking at it before I went live. But it's definitely something that I could figure out. So if you think that would be a good idea, make sure you let me know. And if you guys clicked off after you saw I went live and my mic wasn't on, then, well, hopefully you made it back here anyway. All right. I've been watching a Lee Hunter interview for like 10 minutes now. Let's get to the good stuff. HTTC, what's good, y'all? All right, truth teller. Prove your name. Who are the Commanders drafting? Prove your name, and we will revisit this. Do you think the Commanders will franchise tag any of the players that will become free agents? I think the only one who has a chance is Chris Paul. Let me pull that up. And I'll switch the screen so you guys can see too. Let's take this off the screen, but we will go over it. Debo, Bobby, Marcus, Ertz, Vaughn, Jonathan Jones. I mean, look how old these dudes are. Eckler, Noah Brown, Dietrich Wise. I mean, none of these guys can be franchise tagged. I think really, everyone's so old. This is crazy. Remember when everyone thought Antonio Hamilton was like some young guy off the practice squad, and he turned out he was just 33 years old? Yeah, I think the only one who can be franchise tagged is Chris Paul. I mean, I guess C-Rod and Treylon Burks, but the only one who like realistically has a chance is Chris Paul, and they're not going to do that. So my answer is no. They might re-sign him, but they're not going to franchise tag him because that would probably end up costing more. Not opposed. Talk about the background music. This is the question, guys. Do you want me to add like lo-fi hip hop background music? Let me know. Not opposed, but I don't want to take away from the conversations. That was my concern too. If I knew it was going to be like a heavy conversational video, I don't think I would do it. But on a day like today, where we're kind of just hanging out watching the combine, and it's not like active, that was kind of my thought. Maybe we do that. Where is David Bailey? Oh, David Bailey. You're saying that's who we're going to take. All right, we'll see. I don't think he's going to be there. Jeremiah Love. I think he will be there. Respect from West Michigan, brother. HTTWC. What's going on in Western Michigan up there? How's the snow? I got a friend who lives in Boston. I talked to him on Tuesday, and he said they got like 3 feet. I know there's another storm going through the northeast. Did you catch that? And if so, what's it like up there? Jeremiah Love. Everybody's in love with Jeremiah Love. This is something, if you guys are coming here from Twitter, then you will have probably seen that I posted this earlier. I'll switch screens for you all. You will have probably seen that I posted this on Twitter. To my YouTube people, this is going to be new for you. And it's going to low-key spoil an upcoming video. So maybe don't look at it. Like this is like a 5-second warning because I'm going to go over it more in depth on YouTube. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here is something that I made where basically I went in and I just looked at some different statistical. Can I make this bigger at all? All right, that's as good as it's going to get. But I looked at some different statistical measures for different running backs. Compared Jeremiah Love to some of the top running backs in the NFL. And I put Ashton Genty in there because I think he will be one of the best running backs in the NFL. And also he was obviously the best college running back last year. But you look at Jeremiah Love's, yards per carry, he's in the green. He's tied with Genty for the high of him, Bijan, Gibbs, and McCaffrey. And this is every player's final year of college, by the way. Final year of college. Yards after contact per carry, he's only behind Genty. Carries per missed tackle force, he is in the middle. Genty and Bijan are ahead of him. Yards per route run, he's first. Gibbs is close behind. And percent of runs for 10-plus yards, Jeremiah Love had the top score. Now, granted, he wasn't playing the most difficult schedule in the world, but looking at this, Jeremiah Love arguably has the most impressive statistical profile. And I've been someone who's been in the camp of you don't draft Jeremiah Love, but I did the same thing for the edge rushers, and I did the same thing for receivers as well. And again, I'm making a YouTube video about this, so I don't want to spoil it. But I will say my take of not drafting Jeremiah Love is starting to age kind of poorly, at least at this point in the draft process. But some cool stats there. It's fun what you can dig up. For my more visual people, here's a chart where you can see all the players side by side. And I know my overlay is blocking the bottom column. So this is percent of runs for 10-plus yards. That's what you're seeing right there. Again, Jeremiah Love got the highest there, highest in yards per route run. In the middle here, second here, tied for first in yards per carry. So a really good statistical profile. Are they up and running with the edge rushers yet? No, they're not. They're talking about Max Crosby. All right, whatever. We got time to mess around. Take this down. What do we got going on here in the comments? Absolutely with music. Okay, another vote for the background. Yes, I'm okay with the music choice. Love your content. Appreciate you, my friend. Let's see. What does StreamYard have pre-downloaded? Because I didn't even bother looking because I'm so anal about my music. It's actually funny. I'm looking for the DJ at me and my fiance's wedding right now. And it took a lot for me to settle on somebody. I genuinely wanted to just be the DJ myself from up on the altar, but she wasn't going for it. Oh wait, I have this whole soundboard. I didn't know about this. All right, enough of that. What kind of music we got? How's the? No, we're not doing that. Okay. What do we think of this? I need to give it another. I need to let it. It's not really the vibe I'm going for. That makes me feel like I'm falling asleep. This is. It's okay. Yeah, this is a little sleepy too. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'll tell you what. Before my next live stream, I'm going to go look for like a 1-2 hour loop of music. I'm going to try to download it. I'm going to figure out how to get this done, and we'll have some lo-fi hip-hop beats for the next stream. Promise. Can they stop? Can we just... All right, they're at commercial now. Can we just get these guys on the field? This is like the NBA. I mean, they're supposed to start with the 40 at 4:30. It's 4:50, and they're not even on the field yet. Goodness. Did you see what Lazarus put in breaking news? Let me go check. I did not see it. Rueben Bain's arms measured at 32 inches or more by at least 2 teams, according to Adam Schefter. Well, that's interesting. I have heard the guy who's doing the arm length measurements has been like particularly harsh. So, I mean, when he goes to his pro day, he's going to have 35-inch arms. That's just how it works. And then David Bailey and Rueben Bain Jr. each earned college production scores that ranked top 4 at the edge position in the last 5 draft classes. Bailey was second behind Will Anderson Jr. Abdul Carter was third. Rueben Bain was fourth. Aiden Hutchinson was fifth. So good statistical profiles there. By the way, guys, what this comment is referring to is the Full Command Discord, which if you want to join is completely free. We talk in there. We share breaking news, things like that. I will put it in the live chat right now. Is it possible for me to pin this? I think I'll have to go to YouTube and do it on my own. But anyway, you can get it right there. I don't think you can copy and paste it, so good luck. You might have to type it in manually, but if you want to join, then feel free to do that. What I can do, as a matter of fact, is I can add it to the YouTube live stream description. So let me do that. And then after I get it added, you guys can probably refresh and join back, and it should be there. Boom. Join the Discord. Copy, paste, join. All right. So if you guys maybe give it a minute, and if you want to join the Discord, the link to join should be, once it refreshes on YouTube, should be at the top of the description. So check it out if you want to do that. Let's get back to the comments here. Schefter. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we just read this. Thank you for telling me about that. I did not see that. I think the Commanders will do enough in free agency that they won't need to trade back. They'll take best player available at each pick. You're not on the AARP Adams sort of train? You think he's actually going to spend the money? I do too. I do think Adam Pierce is going to be aggressive. Snow sucks. I'm from California. So much snow. Oh, wait. Okay. So my geography is pretty good. I'm actually a GeoGuessr nerd. I'm not even going to lie to you all. But I am not familiar. This is NorCal, I'm assuming, right? Oh, it's not. It's not NorCal. It's right in the middle. Because I know some areas of California get a bunch of snow. I would assume this would have to be one of those areas. But I'm not too familiar. What if I just Google snowfall? It rarely snows. It has a mild Mediterranean climate. So I guess this must be an outlier then? You guys just get killed with snow? What about Bill's stats? I mean, I can go back and look at Bill's college stats. I can practically guarantee you they're not going to be anywhere close to what those other guys were. Why not? Here, I'll throw this back up. I'll throw this back up on the screen so you can see it. What about Bill's stats? And then I'll go find Bill's numbers for you from college. Got to go to 2023 because in 24 he only played 1 game. Let's see. Bill, we start with yards per carry. His were 6.3. Okay, so he's in the middle. Yards after contact per attempt, 3.98. So we'll call it 4. So, I mean, he does beat out Gibbs and McCaffrey. Carries per missed tackle. I'm going to have to do this one manually. It's going to be 63 divided by 188. No, 188 divided by 63. Wait a minute. Bill's stats are godlike. I take this ball back. 2.98 carries per missed tackle. That's ahead of Jeremiah Love, only behind Genty and Bijan. Next is yards per route run. He got 0.99, so only ahead of Genty. That's fine. Bill's not a receiving back. And then percent of runs for 10 or more yards would be 188. No. 39 divided by 188. 20.7%. So the highest of all of them. Okay, so Bill's actually godlike. Bill has a better statistical profile than Jeremiah Love, Ashton Genty, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Christian McCaffrey. I take it all back. I'm so sorry. That's kind of crazy. So, Eon. Either you have pointed out that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is an absolute god, or you have pointed out that numbers don't matter at all. Interpret that how you want to. Are they live with the... How are they still not testing yet? It's about to be 5 o'clock, and it was supposed to start at 4:30. Trade for Trey Hendrickson and draft a cornerback. Unless it's a Rueben Bain trade, I'm out. Because he's gonna want a contract extension. And actually, wait, what am I talking about? He is a free agent, right? Trey Hendrickson is a free agent, correct? Didn't he sign the $1 million? Yeah, he's a free agent. You can't trade for him. Bengals don't have him. No on music. I think I'm gonna wait till this completely ends, and I go back and I let the people that are watching the rebroadcast give a chance to submit their thoughts, and then I'll make a final decision. The NFL theme music from the Tundra. Everyone should join up, talk about the Discord. Yes, true. Join the Discord if you are not in it. We've already got people. Uncle Boo has joined the Discord at 4:52 p.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate you. Central Cal. Okay. They just be talking. That's what I've been on all season long. LOL, Bill is the real deal. All right, I got to put a pin in this because they are finally lining up for the 40-yard dash. We have the edge rushers going here. I see David Bailey rocking his 31. I'm looking for Rueben Bain, and I don't... Where is he? Where is Rueben Bain? I don't know. Maybe I just can't see him. Although my monitor is crap. I don't know how I've stuck with this monitor for so long. Everything is blurry. I bought it back when I was a gamer, and I haven't gamed in probably 2 or 3 years. But I bought this thing. It was an upgrade. It's garbage. You can't see anything. Bill could have gone on the first if he played his last year. I'm not going to say you're wrong because genuinely, I mean, we'll never know. I would have, from what he, okay, Bain's on the screen wearing a hoodie, so I don't think he's running the 40. What I had read was if he got to play again, the thought was he would be a 3rd or a 4th round pick, but I mean, that's higher than a 7th round pick. That's the exact reason I'd be furious if we drafted Love. We really do have a high potential running back. Why waste our 1st round pick on another running back? I mean, Jeremiah Love is a better player than Bill. And the fact that he's more multidimensional means he can do more things with the offense. But to your point, running back's not a position of need right now. Even though it's an upgrade, it's not a position of need. So gets back to the whole debate. Do you do best player available? Do you fix the holes in the roster? That is insane. I assume we're talking about Bill's stats here. Do you think Seattle's letting Kenneth Walker walk, or are they bluffing? I think he's gone. I think he's out of there. I saw that the Texans are interested in him. It's like, guys, you haven't had an offensive line in Lord knows how long. Your solution was to draft receivers, and now you're going to go sign a running back in free agency. How about you actually just get an offensive lineman and protect your quarterback and see if that can help? Hitting their head on the same ceiling. All right. Hot take. Bill and Scadaboo are both going to have stronger careers than Genty. Jackson, I got love for you, bro, but I can't co-sign this at all. Not at all. Genty was in the worst situation you could ever possibly be in. And Scadaboo, I don't know if he's going to be playing football in 2 years. That dude has like CTE. He's got a premium subscription to CTE. So I don't need coming off the broken foot or whatever it is. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. Hottest of takes, but not entirely crazy to say that. Genty is being held back by that Raiders O-line. I mean, they've got over $100 million in free agency. You would assume they were going to go spend something, right? Bill, not a complete back. He's bad pass pro. He can't catch out the backfield. He's a great RB2. Don't disagree with anything there. Sonny Styles, Mel Kiper mock. Yeah, he had them taking some. I think he had them taking someone else. Was it Rueben Bain? He might have had them taking Rueben Bain in his first mock, and then he pivoted to Sonny Styles. I mean, mock drafts are good to let you know kind of who's in the general vicinity, but nobody truly knows who's going where. And we know the guys in the vicinity. So mock drafts, in my opinion, are kind of pointless at this point in the process, unless you just have one person who you like really, really trust, and you're going to lean on what they say. It's an old narrative about pass pro. He got way better. We are lining up for the first official edge rusher 40-yard dash, by the way. Vincent Anthony Jr. of Duke is going to get it kicked off for us. Let's see what he's got, and then I'll get back to the comments. Oh, so bad. 4.85. I mean, honestly, he was so wobbly. As a former track runner, and don't get me wrong, I'm not even close to I was never the athlete that these guys are, but I actually ended up coaching runners, and I know how to coach technique, and it just pains me when people don't know how to run. I'm like, dude, you could be so much faster and so much better. David Bailey is on the line right now, weighted at 251. He was only expected to be 243, so 8 pounds heavier than everybody expected. What's he got for us? $4.51. That's solid. That's respectable. I think his 10-yard split can be even better than that. I saw it unofficially at like 116 something. I think he can do better than that, but that's a good first time. Gets his head up a little early. We'll watch this back again. Yeah, gets his head up just a little bit early, but I mean, he's a football player. He's not a track runner. He's not going to know that. That's a solid first run. They got him compared to Brian Burns. Same broad jump, basically the same 40. All right, let's get back to the comments here. He being Bill here, we're talking about, just didn't get much of a chance in the receiving game. That in itself could say a lot about Cliff, since he does love a good receiving back. I think it's a good point. Sonic and Knuckles, but with Rachaad White instead of Love. Well, the whole point of Sonic and Knuckles is like they're really cool and really good, really fun. I don't know that Rachaad White can qualify for that. Rachaad White and Bill is a very dumbed down version of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, but hey. Scadaboo will have the best 2-year career in NFL history. he's a gold mine for fantasy football owners. I just traded him in my dynasty league. I traded him. Who did I trade him for? I think I might have actually traded him for Genty. Yeah, I traded Scadaboo, a 26 first, and 3 second rounds for Devontae Adams and Ashton Genty. I feel like that's a pretty solid trade out of myself here. What was that? Danny Dennis Sutton was like galloping. That looked really weird. I have a really weird feeling we're going to trade back and take Mansour Delane. There's no guarantee he'll be there if they do trade back. And the question is, I've seen, and I'm not calling you out, Tyler, like this is generally just a question that needs to be answered. Everybody's saying the Commanders should trade back. That implies that a team wants to trade up. Who wants to or feels compelled to trade up right now to go get their guy at 7? Like if they're picking 8th or 9th or 10th, who feels like their guy is going to be gone, and who would that guy be? You know what I mean? That's a question you have to answer. We need a dynamic defensive playmaker. Agree with that, and I think that's worded very well. I wouldn't mind Mansour Delane. He's versatile, and he could be the answer at big nickel if Mikey or Quan don't work out there. Mikey and Amos on the outside and Delane being sticky in the middle. Putting Delane at nickel is an interesting thought there. I'd never actually considered that. I see why you would say that, though. My concern with Delane, I mean, if you Google it, it's going to say that he's a good size, 6 foot 190. But when you watch him play, he does play a little bit small. So if he can add some muscle to his frame, then I think he'd be good. And he's so intelligent. He's so on top of everything. He's just missing that elite athleticism as well. It's kind of the opposite of a guy like Avion Terrell, who's probably 5'11", 185, but he doesn't get bullied around. He plays really big. So, I mean, I think Delane's got all the talent in the world. I don't think he's a bad player at all. That's just my one concern with him. Caleb Downs would do wonders for this defense. Since Wags is probably not playing for us in 2026, we need a new leader in defense or on defense, and Downs could be that leader. I don't know that Wagner's not playing, but I do agree with you that Downs would be the leader of the defense 100%. Romello Height is on the line. Only 239. I missed that. It's very light. Little choppy on his run, 4.64. Not great. Not great for being 239. But he wasn't projected to be a top pick anyway. Where is he projected to go? That's a good question. According to Tankathon, Romello Height is expected to go in the middle of the 3rd round. They have him going 79th overall. Let's see what Cassius Howell's got. He's on the line right now. 253 pounds, 2 more than David Bailey, about an inch shorter. This guy's got burst. Let's see what he's got. .460, but a 1.59 10-yard split, which was ahead of David Bailey. So better closing speed from Bailey, but a better start from Howell. And it was kind of stiff off the start, too. A lot of power in there. You can see that he's generating. Again, if we're talking about like trying to run track, he could have run faster there. So that's pretty impressive acceleration. Do we truly know Bill can't catch out of the backfield? No, they just didn't give him the opportunities. But at the same time, you got to question, if they didn't throw to him, then have they seen something that's been happening in practice? Sorry, Grant, missed your vid and some of your streams. So who's this Rueben guy? Rueben Bain Jr., defensive end from Miami. Let me see. Do I have this graphic prepared for you all? I said that I was working on another graphic. No, I don't have it prepared. Okay, you're going to have to see it in an upcoming YouTube video. But Rueben Bain, kind of consensus, like if he drops below 7, it would be a surprise, kind of a consensus top 5 pick really at this point. People are arguing about who do they like more, David Bailey or Rueben Bain Jr. The argument for Rueben Bain is that he's more well-rounded, can play the run a little bit better, but he's also got T-Rex arms, and he weighed in 12 pounds lighter than he was listed at Miami today. So there's going to be some conversations about Rueben Bain coming out of this combine. I can guarantee that. Speaking of fantasy, it was reported today that Clint Kubiak said he wanted to add another pair back to pair with Genty. Adike, who said that, but saw it on X. It is true. I saw the clip too, but that's also not really saying much. Basically, every coach in the NFL wants a dual back system now. It's just the era we're in. We are not trading back. No one wants to trade up in this draft. I agree with that. Not to the top 7, at least. I think maybe in the late teens, early 20s, something like that. David Bailey going top 5, man. I think he is too. David Bailey probably going top 5. He looks great so far in the combine. Titans said they like Bain more. They said that. Is that real? Titans like Rueben Bain? Can you drop a link or tell me where you found that? Because I would want to see that. The Titans did also make a trade today. In case you guys didn't see, the Titans in the Jets traded Jermaine Johnson for Tavondre Sweat. So the Jets lose a defensive end, get a defensive tackle. Titans gain a defensive end, lose a defensive tackle. So that does speak to Arvell Reese, Rueben Bain, David Bailey going to the Jets now. But also maybe it speaks to the Titans going with like a Carnell Tate or someone like that in that 4 slot now. So it's overall probably a net zero as far as what impact that has on the NFL draft. But it is an interesting, it's interesting how things are moving around. Get this back up for you guys. The combine results. So these are official now. Cassius Howell with the fastest 10-yard split. Barham, Bailey at 162. And then we'll go to the 40, where David Bailey is first with a 4.51. Cassius Howell with a 4.6. And let's catch up on their broad jumps and stuff like that, because I didn't see it earlier. Good score from David Bailey, keeping pace with the leaders. Did Rueben Bain do this? TJ Parker, 10 foot. That's notable. Keldrick Falk at 9'9". Cassius Howell at 9'7". And Caleb Banks at 9'6". 6'6", 330-pound monster just chilling with a 9'6". What about the vertical? Malachi Lawrence with a 40. I like Malachi Lawrence a lot, by the way. I think he's only projected going like the 4th or the 5th, but he's a guy with a huge arsenal of moves. This is a really good score. We'll see what he runs in the 40, but that's really good. That's really encouraging for him. David Bailey at 35. We just saw what he ran in the 40, so I'm not too concerned about that. He's at least showing some explosiveness there. So as long as you're seeing it in one of these, that's fine. They haven't done the 3-cone, right? And then this is only the defensive tackles, and nobody's done bench yet. I don't know what's going on. My nose is really itchy. I think it's just the dry air we're having right now. All right, back to the combine. Oh, they're on commercial. Bailey if Bain goes to the Titans, and Bain if Bailey goes to the Titans. Where do the Jets factor into this? And the Browns are a wild card. Nobody knows what the Browns are going to do. It's Bailey over Bain. I agree. I've said this for a long time. I like David Bailey more than Rueben Bain. Steelers have 12 draft picks. I think a lot of them are comp picks, right? Steelers 2026 draft picks. Let's see. They have a first, a second, 3/3, 2/4, a 5th, 3/6. No, 2/6 because they traded 1 and 2/7. So a lot of picks for them, yes, but nothing too early on. If O-line and QB wasn't such a problem for the Raiders, then why not get Jeremiah Love? Okay, I'm trying to follow what this means. Are you saying that we're having our perception warped by the Genty failure because the Raiders O-line and quarterback was bad? Is that what you're saying? Oh, Malachi Lawrence. No, take it back. Wrong UCF guy. Just saw it at the corner of my eyes. The arm thing with Bain, do we have any top picks that didn't work out because their arm length that we could compare to Bain? You said some no-name guys with small arms. Were there ever high draft picks? He would be the... Oh, wait, Malachi Lawrence did just go. 1.58 10-yard split and a 4.53 40. So I think that's the best 10-yard split, and it's the second best 40. So Malachi Lawrence shows up. I saw earlier, I think from Grant Paulson, that Rueben Bain would be the first player with arms that size drafted in the first round in 27 years. So I can't exactly answer this question, but I hope that kind of puts it into perspective. And to be fair, and I didn't really dive into this in my video earlier because I didn't want to make the entire video about Rueben Bain. The way Rueben Bain plays does work for his arm size to a certain extent. The way he plays is a lot of it. He's got such strong hands that one of his go-to counters. Did that turn? No, I didn't. I thought I muted my microphone. One of his go-to counters is when someone plays tall on him. He kind of swats him out of the way and then ducks inside. And that the short arms actually help for that because he creates leverage and torque with the angles. So it works from that perspective, but still, you don't have a history of guys with arms that short working out in the NFL. That being said, Micah Parsons' arms are 31.5 inches. Is 3/4 of an inch. Is that big of a difference? Again, history tells us yes, but just gotta wait and see. Tyler, I see what you're saying. I'm trying to follow you though. Oh, okay. So when you said that the Titans prefer Rueben Bain, this isn't actually the Titans. I get why it looks weird. They have Daniel Jeremiah, who works for the NFL Network. They have him on the stage behind a podium. So he looks like a team official. I get it. But it's actually not. He's just another media guy. And he's saying that he thinks Rueben Bain to the Titans is the best fit. TJ Parker looks bad. Well, my 162 10-yard split is not terrible. I'm sorry. I just realized I've had this on bench the whole time. I should have put this back on something that matters. I mean, 162 is not bad. That's what David Bailey has. But watching him run, it just looked so uncomfortable. Is Caleb Proctor related to Caden Proctor? I don't know. I was actually wondering that myself earlier. There is no public evidence or reporting to suggest that Caleb Proctor is related to Caden Proctor. There you go. QB and running back touch the ball the most on the field, giving JD5 love and having the two dynamic playmakers at the position that touch the ball the most. Love is two-way running back catch. Reminds me of Falk. He does touch the ball the most, or they do, but there's also a history of running backs not really changing teams. But at the same time, it's a history of teams not having a quarterback as good as Jaden Daniels. So it's a tough evaluation. I mean, I've said this. I've been very consistent in this. Jeremiah Love, I think, is a phenomenal player. I just don't think that he should be the pick for the Commanders. What did you do in track rant? I ran the 800 and the mile mostly. They would have me do 5Ks and when I got to college, 8Ks and 10Ks in cross country, but that was never my thing. Never enjoyed it. Never thought I was that good. Aaron Donald had small arms. What are we talking about? Well, he played a different position. He played defensive tackle. And you're not trying to bend the corner there. So smaller arms aren't as big of a deal. Best mile time? 4:36. Which I know is not that good. That's why my Twitter bio says ex-mediocre track runner. Also, I don't normally eat trail mix. I needed something that I could come on stream and you just eat with my hands really quickly. And me and my girl were on a road trip, maybe like, I think this was Christmas. I think it was coming back from Christmas. And there was a snowstorm. And all the restaurants and everything were shut down in the towns we were driving through. So we went into the grocery store and they were basically like sold out of food because people were having a panic. And so we grabbed literally the only snacks we could find. And I grabbed this box of trail mix. So it'd probably been like 10 years since I'd had trail mix before then. And I guess I'm eating trail mix again now. Makes you thirsty though. It's so salty. .436 mile time is crazy. Maybe not for track, but that's still crazy. Yeah. It's one of those situations where, like, I mean, I recognize most of the population couldn't do it, but, you know, someone who works in, like, computer engineering, most of the population can't do what they do. If you're a auto technician, most of the population can't do what you do. Like, it's one of those things where if you do something, it's your niche, like, You should be better at it than most people, I guess. But compared to like really good track runners, that's really nothing special. Did you do college track? Yeah, I did for a year at a D3 school. And then I transferred to Virginia Tech and I ran on my own for a year and then I started lifting weights. I just looked up Malachi Lawrence. Man, if we could end up with both Bailey and Lawrence, he's good. Let me pull up his numbers. Malachi Lawrence is definitely someone I like in that like round 4, round 5 sort of region. I don't know the Commanders don't have a round 4 pick right now, but it's possible they could end up getting one, depending on the way things play out. Pro Football Focus has this they have a bug where you can't sort by certain criteria, or you can't load a player and then search by criteria. So you have to load literally every player in the nation and then go figure it out. So that's what I'm currently trying to do. Can we get Malachi Lawrence to show up? Yes, we can. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Boom. So if we go to true pass sets, which eliminates RPOs and screen passes, let's do a minimum snaps of 50%. Where is... Did he not play 50% of snaps? All right, let's go 20%. Okay, so, and then we'll do draft year 2026. So here are some notable people. You've got David Bailey here winning on 38.6%. You've got Akeem Mesidor at 36.6%, Derek Moore at 36%, R. Mason Thomas at 35%. Here's Malachi Lawrence at 34.7%. That's above Rueben Bain, by the way, at 30.3%. That's above Cassius Howe at 28.8%. So yeah, that's above Romello Height at 28%. So, I mean, he's a baller. I like Malachi Lawrence a lot. Didn't have crazy raw numbers. I don't know why I just clicked there because it took him off the screen. But I mean, he only had 7 sacks. So if you just go to his ESPN box score, it's not going to look very good. Even this, just his overall pressure rate's not that good. But when you sort it by the true pass sets, which again eliminates screen passes and RPOs, here he is at 10th, which is a pretty good place to be. So yeah, dude's good. I like Malachi Lawrence. The good athletic testing is really good for him. It's really bad for the Commanders too, if they were interested in him, because he's got a lot of skills in his game. And if he tests well, that's going to really indicate that there might be some untapped potential there. So I was low key hoping he might not test very well, because he might move up into the 3rd round based off of these performances. I just realized I've had the combine paused, so I haven't been talking about it. I got to catch up. I'm watching R. Mason Thomas right now. I know you guys have already seen him if you're watching. Trash. Namdi Tucker from Western Michigan. Nadabi, sorry, who was really productive. Had a really productive year. That garbage. Never mind. That's what I get for gassing him up. $4.9. All right, and we're back to the top of the order. At least I am. I'm back at Vincent Anthony Jr., which means David Bailey is going to be next. I'm sure you guys are typing in the chat about it right now. I'll be there in like 30 seconds. Back-to-back 4.85s for Vincent Anthony Jr. Oh, I'm live. So we're going to watch the David Bailey run together. Cool. Like the stream. It's free. Thank you. Preach the gospel. Guys, if you want to support me, you want to support the content, number one way to do that is by pressing the like button. Shoots this video out into the YouTube algorithms, whether it's the live stream, whether it's the rebroadcast. Number one thing to do. Appreciate you saying something. With the edge position, we have to keep Dorrance Armstrong in mind. Facts. Dorrance Armstrong was playing really well. Now, should he be the undisputed number one? No. But, you guys know, my guy is Odafe Owe that I want the Commanders to sign. I think they're about equivalent players in terms of their impact, and having them together is solid. So don't make him the undisputed number one. Don't think that position is good, but he's a solid player if you give him the right partner. All right, David Bailey up. He's in his stance. Good first step. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, he lost it again. 4.54. He looks like he's gimpy a little bit. Looks like he's limping or something. He had a really good first step, though. I just rewound it. I'm watching it back. His first step was really good. What you want to see, what you want to be watching for, technique-wise, is you're taught to, when people say explode, they literally mean it. You want to jump as far as you can with your first step. Get it out in front of you, and then it's all about rocking into your rhythm. So I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised the 10-yard split wasn't better because that looked very fluid. But, I mean, that's what you see when you watch him play. I say it's like he's got rockets in his heels. So you and Jalen Lane were tight like that at Virginia Tech. I never met Jalen Lane. Never met Jalen Lane. Seems like a cool dude, though. What are your thoughts on the Ertz saga? I love the guy, but I want to move on from him, and I thought his injury was the best excuse for that. No offense to him and his injury, but I wanted a wide tight end like Loveland or Kittle. I think Zach Ertz is done with the Commanders. Oh no. Ooh, we just got someone just blew a tire. I think it's Barnum. Barnum just blew a tire. It's no good. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, I think they're just going to be nice. I think they're going to be nice to Zach Ertz. I think they're going to be nice to Bobby Wagner. Although, I mean, they might let Wagner come back. I guess it's a different bucket. I think they'll be nice in the sense that they're going to let Zach Ertz rehab and be like, yeah, like we'll keep an open mind, but I don't think they're planning on him actively being in the team. Like if he's on the team, it's as the fourth tight end, and they're still going to go out and try to sign a Chig or a Likely or an Njoku or someone like that. When Washington went to the NFC Championship game, it was because of a running game mixed with JD5, playmaking, time possession with 11. See, I disagree with this. It was not because of the running game. If we're talking about actually running the football. Jaden Daniels as the running game, okay, sure. But not because of the actual running game, like turning around and handing it to the running back. Brian Robinson Jr. Sorry, I'm trying not to talk with my mouth open. Brian Robinson Jr. in the run to the NFC Championship game against the Buccaneers, 10 carries for 16 yards. Against Detroit, better, 15 carries for 77 yards. 5 yards per carry is not bad, but 77 yards isn't really changing the game. And then against the Eagles, 11 carries for 36 yards. The actual running game that was impactful was Jaden. So I disagree with you on this. All right. I'm going to put this away. I hope I'm not chewing into the microphone. I hope you guys didn't hear any of that. If Isaiah Likely is knocking on the door, open it with a jersey prepared and JD5 himself. There's a lot of people that are going to be after Isaiah Likely. That's kind of the reason I've been so big on the Chigakonkwo train is I think he's just as good. I think he'll be a little bit cheaper. And I think everybody's going to be after Likely. And I don't really understand why. I think they're both solid players. It's a tough decision, but if JD5 gets hurt again because all the pressure's on him, so he feels the need to Superman. Yes, you're right, but it's not just offense, it's defense. It's the fact that they're giving up 40 points a game. If you have a good defense, then there's not as much pressure on the quarterback. I understand the love opinion, but there's so many good proven backs in free agency that we could sign and get an elite defender in the draft at 7 that could make plays. Bailey, excuse me, Bailey 4-5, holy shit. What was his best 40? It was a 4.51, and that's still number 1. Yep, Malachi Lawrence number 2. So those are my two guys. You can add Derek Moore to that mix too, because I like Derek Moore. Those are my guys. Billy Speed will be 90 on Madden 27. I think there's more value in getting a proven running back in free agency to add JD5 in the run game and a defender in the draft that could be elite, rather than getting a mediocre defender and Love in the draft. Yeah. Got nothing to add. When Bill can get past the safety, like against the Chargers on that play where he almost broke free for 25 yards, then he will be great. I mean, yes, but let's be realistic. Anytime a professional running back is one-on-one with the safety, it's probably going to be a good play. The question is, why did Bill's vision just disappear in the middle of the season? Was that a Cliff Kingsbury thing? Was that an immaturity thing? Is it going to get better? We'll see. Conquo's faster than likely? Probably. Have you met any NFL players? I'll give you a name. I met Lendale White. You guys remember him from USC? Reggie Bush's partner in the backfield? I met Lendale White. I actually have his number. It's kind of nasty of me to just name drop like that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. That's gross. But Lendale White, 2 seasons at USC. First year, 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns. Second year, 1,300 yards and 24 touchdowns. Was Reggie... See, now my memory's failing me. Reggie was there for both years. That's insane. So in the same year, you had Reggie Bush with 1,700 yards and 16 touchdowns, and you had Lendale White with 1,300 yards and 24 touchdowns. Talk about being spoiled for choice. Another 4.60 for Cassius Howell there. Just went. Did not improve his 10-yard split, I don't believe. Yeah, ran 1.60 on his first attempt. It was 1.59. How'd you have his number? I met him at the gym out in Colorado, which is where he lives. I assume this is supposed to say Algier in free agency. Doesn't really move the needle for me, I'll be honest. If you're going to sign Tyler Algier, bring back Chris Rodriguez. Is that blasphemous to say? I don't know, but that's how I feel. Let's see what's going on the timeline. Haven't checked out the Twitter timeline in a while. How many of you are joining me from Twitter, by the way? If you are here from Twitter, say something in the comments. Because this is only my second Twitter stream. It's live on YouTube and Twitter. This is only my second one on Twitter because I'm paying Elon. I'm doing it, guys. I'm paying Elon Musk. I'm giving him $3.99 a month to be able to stream on Twitter. So the rich get richer. I just went to my Twitter page and I'm looking at myself. That's weird. I would not be opposed to getting Lawrence in the 3rd round, getting a good defensive end that's solid in the run and pass and free agency. Oweh has not been great in the run, unfortunately. Yeah, my Oweh suggestion is not a one, what's the word I'm looking for here? One step fixes all sort of solution. And he would be in more on your pass rushing downs because they, if you listen to Dan Quinn, I think it was DQ, in his press conference at the Combine, he spoke about having Johnny Newton and Kinlaw and Payne on the field at the same time. I don't think there's any true zero tech player on this roster right now. I mean, they'll have Payne do it sometimes. They'll have Kinlaw do it sometimes, but like a true dominant zero tech. I mean, realistically, it should be Kinlaw, but I don't think it is. So I think they're going to need to go sign somebody. But in any case, I don't think Oweh is going to be a 3-down sort of player. I think he'll be more in on the pass rushing situations, and you'll get like him on one side with Dorrance on the other. We saw a lot of good moments from Dorrance rushing as a 3-tech, so you know he can rush from the interior. You're going to have Luvu blitzing. If you draft Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese, you're going to get wicked with where the linebacker pressures are coming from, so they'll mix it up. So you think Walker is better than... Is this directed to me? I don't think this is directed to me because I haven't said anything about this. You think Walker is better than Love? This is really based on whether you think Love is generational or not. That type of running back JD5 is a serious issue. I don't think this is addressed to me. I'm going to take this off. Can you guys hear if I turn my sound on? Do you guys hear the Combine right now? The sound is on for me on my screen. I need someone to let me know. Because if it is, I need to take it off. Otherwise, I'm going to get my stream shut down. But if you can't hear it, then we're good. And I'm going to leave it going in the background. Tyler, I'm assuming this is no. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. Well, I've been sitting here in silence. So that works. So I can actually have the sound on in the background. Malachi. Cassius Howell. I really am surprised David Bailey is only at 162. I'm not worried about it because I know what the tape looks like, and it looks like he has a truly elite get off out there on the field. But the fact that there are 5 people ahead of him is surprising me. Cassius Howell, maybe not, because this is supposed to be his thing. He's supposed to have the get off. I'm happy to see Malachi Lawrence here, but I'm just surprised. Catastrophic typo. We got it figured out in the end. Sorry, I just saw the Atlanta Hawks are having Magic City Monday. The Hawks are hosting Magic City Monday, honoring the iconic Atlanta Strip Club at their March 16th game against the Magic. Atlanta rapper T.I. will perform. The Hawks will serve Magic City's world famous wings at the game, and there will be limited edition merch. Good for the Hawks. That's crazy. Somebody just told me on Twitter that the Giants might draft Jeremiah Love, and I'm telling them there is no chance of that. I know there was a report saying it, but that's just a smokescreen. Don't believe that. When we were in air raid, we needed a pass catching running back. Sure, a pass catching running back is nice and under center, but it's not a necessity. And full ownership grade just came out and went from an F to an A+. Yes, this is something we should talk about. As a matter of fact, thank you for saying this. I had the link where. Here we go. I got the link. This is more important than Magic City Mondays. Let's talk about this. The Washington Commanders were up to number 3 in the NFL's report cards. The Dolphins were number 1 for the 3rd straight year. Number 2 was the Vikings. The Washington Commanders at number 3 after they were at the bottom under Dan Snyder. For everybody who's going to talk about Josh Harris being cheap and not wanting to spend and things and this and that and the third, he's clearly spending his money. They're upgrading the lockers. They're upgrading the practice facility. They're putting the investment into the team. You don't go from last to 3rd in 2 years of ownership if you're not splashing the cash and honoring the players. So, treatment of families, B+, home field, B+. Okay, so slow down. Do they mean the surface? They mean the surface, okay, not the stadium. Home field, B+, team travel, B-, food dining, A-, nutritionist, dietitian, A-, locker room, B, training room, A-, locker room, B. I'm sure Josh Harris wants that upgraded considering he just paid for a new one. Training staff, A. Weight room, A. Strength coaches, A+. Washington, even when they were getting last in the league, they had A+ for strength coaches. Position coaches, B+. OC, B+. DC, B-. That's funny. Special teams coordinator, A-. Head coach, A+. They love DQ. General manager, A. I bet that's Terry. Terry gave him an F. Terry's dragging down Adam Peters. Terry and Tunsil. And team ownership, A+. I mean, this has to be true. Team ownership has to be an A+ for them to move up so quickly. F- DC. How did I get on this? I didn't even mean to click on this. The head coach is an A+. The gym is. Why fire the OCVs? This is comically inaccurate. If I had grade inflation like this, I could have gone to Harvard. Well, AB, my friend here, AB in Vienna, You're not on the team. This is voted on by the players. This is not like an independent media thing. Anyway, not to throw shots at some random guy on Twitter. Hope Commanders take Toledo's safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren. It's not going to happen. He's going to go in the first round, and they don't have a pick there, and they're not taking him 7. I love him, though. I love Emmanuel McNeil Warren. What are your thoughts on B-Wags off the edge as a stand-up outside linebacker, 240 pounds leads? No way. Sorry. I understand the blitzing ability. No way. By putting him out there, you're exposing his lack of speed even further. If he's outside, he's one of the best middle linebackers in NFL history. If he's going to play well, it's going to be a middle linebacker. You can blitz him. He's done a good job of that. Let me see if I can find this, because I saw a comparison of Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. Here it is. I have located it. This is wild. I'll take this off the screen. Something I rarely see discussed with Sonny Styles. On 169 pass rush snaps, 39 pressures, 10 sacks. He lined up on the edge 370 times over his career. Arvell Reese on 138 pass rush snaps, 34 pressures, 11 sacks. He lined up on the edge 333 times in his career. So here's what you take from this. 169 snaps, 138. 39 and 10, 34 and 11. So we talk about Arvell Reese making the move to edge in the NFL, and he's going to do that. But Sonny Styles was basically just as productive as a pass rusher. And this is a guy who, you play him on or off ball, they're going to figure out exactly what his position is going to be in the NFL. But you look at him as a green dot guy in the middle of the field, and he might just be a terror as a blitzing linebacker too in the NFL, which is crazy. This dude can do everything. And I'm really excited. He's the guy I'm most excited to see perform at this combine. Isaiah Likely come to DC. Everybody wants Isaiah Likely. I guess B-Wags will only come off the edge of my Madden franchise. Styles may be the next Bobby Wagner. His intelligence, and I'm talking about game intelligence, obviously, not like him as an individual. His game intelligence, we'll have to see, because, that's just such a ridiculously high bar to clear. I do think Sonny Styles is smart, though. And Bobby Wagner was an athletic dude. I want to say he ran 4.46 at his combine, which, 4.46. That's what it was. Can I get his full combine testing profile? It's hard to imagine Bobby Wagner being an athletic freak, but at one point he was pretty athletic. No, they don't have his full combine testing. Oh, wait a minute. I lied. Here in the 40-yard dash in 4.46, had a 39.5-inch vertical and an 11-foot broad jump. He was in the 98th percentile in the broad jump, 90th percentile in the vertical leap, 96th percentile in the 40-yard dash, 80th percentile in the 10-yard split. His worst scores. He was 52nd percentile in the 3-cone, 58th percentile in the 20-yard shuttle, 65th percentile in the bench press. Bobby Wagner was that dude. 24 reps at 225. I mentioned the vertical in the 40. Yeah, Bobby had some really good testing numbers. Bobby Wagner's the young guy, was also not the smartest. He was definitely above average in the NFL, but he had a lot of help from the older guys like Sherman. Yeah, no doubt. I'm not expecting Sonny Styles to walk into the NFL on day one and say you have to be as smart as sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Be as smart as Bobby Wagner is. Adam Peters. So nobody got A+. So Adam Peters was at the top with an A. Joe Sheen with a D+. He's the only one there. Omar Khan with a C+. I've got a Steelers fan. I got to send it to him. We got a super chat from Light. I'm fine with any guy at 7th except Bain or a wide receiver. First of all, I appreciate you, Light. Appreciate the generosity. There's a lot of people that are going to be available for the Commanders to take there, no doubt. I mean, if we're just looking around, there's going to be Bain. Well, I shouldn't say there's going to be Bain. These are the people in the bucket that might be available. You're going to get a guarantee of at least one of these people. Bain, Reese, Downs, Bailey, Tate, Love, Delane, Styles, Lemon, Tyson. Like that's I just named 10 people. And of course, I didn't name Mendoza or Francis from Miami or Fano from Utah, who are guys who are also going to be drafted highly. So they will get a talented player, no doubt. The question is, who do they end up with? And you are saying you don't want Bain and you don't want a wide receiver. I'm with you. I don't want Rueben Bain. No offense to him. I hope he has a great NFL career. I just don't. He's not the pick that I'm making. If they do draft a wide receiver, you know what? I'll show it. I've been saying that I'm going to save it for a YouTube video, but I'll show it to you guys because I like you. I care about you. I'll show it to you guys. Here is a look at some cool wide receiver numbers. So, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, and Jordan Tyson right here compared against Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb. These are the breakout years for these players. So, Carnell Tate was this last year, Lemon this last year, Tyson was 2 years ago, JSN was his sophomore year because he basically didn't play his junior year, Chase was his sophomore year because he basically didn't play his junior year, and then CeeDee Lamb was his junior year as well. So, what you will notice is Mekhi Lemon is like pretty mid off of these stats, and Tyson is just flat out bad. And again, these are Jordan Tyson stats from not this past season, but the one before. Last season was a down season, so it got worse than this. Now, don't get me wrong, these are still really good numbers. Above 3 yards per route run is really, really good, which makes it insane when you see JSN at 4. I've literally never seen that before. So still really good numbers. But when you draft someone 7th overall, you're talking about the expectation is not that they are going to be a good player. That's not the expectation is they're going to be a Hall of Fame level player, an all pro level player. Because that's what you're drafting them to do, to be. That's what you're paying them to be. So Jordan Tyson comparatively does not live up. Mekhi Lemon, who I have said before, I don't think it's out of the question he's number 1 receiver in this class, doesn't live up. The only guy who truly has some staying power compared to JSN, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb is Carnell Tate. 18 yards per reception is above JSN, but below Jamar and CeeDee. Yards after catch is the lowest of all of them. He is not a yak guy. Yards per route run, solid. Same as Jamar Chase. JSN and CeeDee Lamb basically break the scale, but it's ahead of Lemon and Tyson pretty comfortably. 0% drop rate, the only one out of all of them to say that. 86% contested catch rate, basically with JSN at 90 for the highest. And then average depth of target, 14.8 is the furthest downfield of all of these guys. He's the one who's getting the ball the most deep down the field. So if the Commanders are going to take a wide receiver, for me, it has to be Carnell Tate. If they trade back and they want to go like at 12 and they want to get Mekhi Lemon, okay, fine. But as far as like actually at number 7, it's got to be Carnell Tate. And again, it's Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, JSN, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb. For those of you who are more visual learners here. I appreciate the super chat, though, Light. For real. Always fun talking some ball. I wouldn't mind a wide receiver at 7, just that all the other needs were addressed in free agency, and like a Jalen Naylor, Tyquan Thorne was assigned to wide receiver 3. That gives a path to draft a guy at 7 for the trio. Yeah, in my mock offseason, I had them drafting Chris Brazzell, which same thing. Like, you're not drafting Brazzell to be your superstar, but if you're confident in the group that you have, Brazzell can be a pretty good player. Brandon Ayuk does make things interesting in that situation, though, if released soon. He'll be released. He will be released, and he does make things interesting. Ultimately, I think there's probably a 65% chance Brandon Ayuk is on the Commanders next season. I have said that for me, it all comes down to the knee. I'm not worried about his mentality or anything like that. I don't think he's a head case. I think he had a falling out with the 49ers that he didn't handle the best, but I don't think he's got CTE and he's waiting to make some terrible mistake for the Commanders. For me, it's just the knee. Like, dude, you haven't played football in 2 years. You tore your ACL, your MCL, and your meniscus. If I'm Adam Peters, I want to see you full speed. I want to see you work out. Prove to me you're healthy. And if you do that, all right, we can talk. And it's going to be a prove it deal. So if all those criteria are met, I'm cool with Brandon Ayuk. But that doesn't mean that I would go out there and pursue him. That's like we should not be focusing on Brandon Ayuk. Is Arvell running with this group or the next group? I believe, he didn't do the 40, and he said he's going to run the 40. So the answer is he has to be the next group. He has to be at the linebackers. Even though he said he expects to be playing edge in the NFL, maybe that was just like an agent move, like put it out there so that people think your positional value is higher and you can get drafted higher and make more money, blah, 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 blah. I do ultimately think he will end up playing more edge, but he's with the linebackers today. And Sonny Styles is there too, and they're teammates, so it makes sense they might want to go together. David Bailey's doing his drills right now. Nothing that impressive. Fell down going both ways, which honestly I appreciate. I don't mind it when people fall down because they're trying to go as fast as they possibly can. The guys who don't fall down and they're trying to keep their feet under them, like that's not the point of the drill. The point of the drill is to go 100% all out and show me what kind of lateral quickness you got. I like Brazel, especially if he's the other guy with Ayuk. I mean, any reputable three-man receiving core with Brazel as the third guy would be pretty crazy. Like if it's Terry, Ayuk, and Brazel, that's really good. We got another $2, another super chat from Light. Light, I appreciate you. You're too generous. 2 super chats in the stream, both of them from Light. I don't expect us to trade down, but maybe. Yes, this is the big question. And when you're filling out a mock draft, it's so easy. It is so easy to make your mock draft look better because you traded back 5 times and you got to make 12 selections. It's like, wow, you're a genius. How come Adam Peters doesn't do this? You can't just demand that another team trades up with you. So this is the question that I've been asking. I'll pull up a mock draft just so we have like a visual reference. Okay, here's the mock draft. Who's trading up right here? Commanders get David Bailey, but there's a world where they get Caleb Downs. There's a world where they get Rueben Bain. There's a world where they get Carnell Tate. There's a world where they get Jeremiah Love. Like, do the Chiefs value David Bailey that highly? They're going to trade up. They actually probably want Jeremiah Love. So in that situation, they might not go. Saints, he could use Bailey or Tate or Love or Delane. They're probably not going to trade. The Bengals, okay, maybe, but what do they have to trade with? I genuinely don't know the answer to that. But they just invested a first-round pick on Shamar Stewart. Do they want to go move up and get another one? It's like, these are the questions you have to ask yourself. And then if it's the Dolphins at 11 or the Cowboys, I mean, you probably wouldn't trade with the Cowboys, but the Rams at 13, you want to trade back. Are you willing to trade back that far? So if there's a way to thread the needle and go to 8 or go to 9, all right, cool. There's no guarantee that happens. And aside from that, you really don't want to be trading back too far because the whole benefit of losing so many games is you get to draft a great player. And yeah, you would get more picks, but are the players going to be as good? The answer is no. My friends pissed me off about the stupid AI ice cream Insta Live. That was so funny. People are so gullible. It's going to be up to Styles, Love, and Delane. The question that needs to be answered for me, you want to figure out who's available. How many receivers? How many offensive tackles? Top 6. Those are the questions to answer. That determines who else is left. David Harrison of Locked On Commanders toyed with the idea of Terry as a power slot. What are your thoughts on that with Ayuk as the X and Brazel, Thornton, Nailers as Z? It fully depends on roster construction. And I'm not opposed to it because Terry does have that skill set where he can be a really dominant intermediate guy. Not the best yards after catch guy in the world. We've seen him get chased down far too many times. However, he does have a knack for finding the soft spot in the zone. And when you consider how he stems some of his vertical routes, if he gets matched up with even if it's a slot corner, who most of the times are not your best man corner guys, because they're outside, or it's a safety, that's a problem for whoever's trying to guard him. So it could make sense, but it is up to roster construction. Like let's just say Let's say it's Ayuk and Terry and Luke McCaffrey is your wide receiver 3. Keep him on the outside. Don't put him in there. But I think it's a solid idea. Just depends on who they get to surround the guys that they have on the team. I need to get back to watching some of these drills. I do appreciate all the comments, of course. I love talking to you guys, but I'm also here to learn something about these players. Zion Young. Oh, Zion Young is up. I like Zion Young. He's not attacking this drill. He was doing what I just complained about. He was doing it. He was doing the drill just to stand on his feet. He wasn't actually trying. Malachi Lawrence is trying. See, I like this guy. He's attacking the drill. Nice rep from him. Nice rep from Malachi Lawrence. Should I make a list of my winners and losers from today? I'm starting this late in the process, so this might not be as good as it possibly could be, but I'm gonna do it. Winners and losers. Let's go. Malachi Lawrence. Losers. Oops. I'll go Cassius Howell. Who was a loser today? Oh, TJ Parker. Okay, I'm seeing now he had a 161 in this 10-yard split in his last run, which is faster than David Bailey. I don't want to call David Bailey a loser because I mean he had the fastest 40. He can't be a loser. 4.50 officially. Malachi Lawrence 4.52 officially. Okay. Who's a loser? I don't really know that there are many big losers from the edge position as far as guys who I was genuinely interested in. I mean, LT Overton ran pretty slow, but I've never been an LT Overton guy. I'm going to put LT Overton actually. I mean, he got third last in the 40 and second last in the 10-yard split. So I'll put LT Overton because that guy he has hype around him, but I've not been someone who's been like buying into the hype if we're following there. I don't think that should be complicated. Dennis Sutton won the broad jump. Malachi Lawrence was number 2. David Bailey was number 3. What about the defensive tackles? Got to put Caleb Banks, obviously. This is not in order. These are just names. Bain, he didn't. Actually, I mean, to be fair, we could probably put Bain in losers, even though he didn't test. We can put him in there because of his measurements. I'm trying to see where I picked up in the comments. Terry could play like Amon-Ra or She Rice or even CD, who all run a lot of routes from the slot against lower level CB3 slot corners on top of Blau, get him 10 plus targets a game. 100%. And that's something that I'm really excited for with David Blau. Whether it is Terry or whether it is Ayuk, if they sign him and he looks good, or whether they draft somebody. Like, first of all, moving those guys around, but then second, creating matchups for them. I didn't feel like Cliff's offense intentionally created matchups for players, if that makes sense. Cliff knew how to attack space. That's Cliff's thing. That's why I always say Cliff could easily be in contention for the best play designer in the world, but sequencing, elevating players / featuring stars, I don't feel like that was his specialty. I mean, the perfect example of that is Sean McVay doing a C-gap insert with Puka. Puka is coming in motion behind the line of scrimmage. He hasn't cleared the offensive line when the ball is snapped. He runs between the tackle and the tight end while they're blocking, and then comes on a crossing route back across the middle of the field on the side he came from. Like, come on. How are you supposed to stop that? So that's how you feature a star. And that's something that I'm excited to see with David Blau. And if you missed my video earlier today, then first and foremost, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, full command, so you never miss out on it. But that's we got another endorsement from Dan Campbell on David Blau. So he's super competitive, super intelligent. Basically implied that, I mean, we knew Dan Campbell and the Lions wanted to interview David Blau. Basically implied he would have hired him if he got the chance to. So nice to hear. I just missed TJ Parker do his bag drill. I got to back it up 15 seconds so I can see. Actually, it was a pretty solid rep. Pretty solid rep. I'm not a TJ Parker guy, but I'm also not going to lie. He looked good there. We got good news and bad news. David Bailey's 6'4" and has 33-inch arms. He's going to rise up the draft boards. Yeah, I've believed for probably about a month now that Bailey, Bain, and Reese would all be gone when the Commanders picked. And if I'm wrong, I would love that. But I think that is the case. David Harrison also had Luke as his original candidate to be that power slot. I'm excited for Luke this year. I think he finally breaks out. Hopefully, it's shown a lot of flashes. I mean, Luke's route running has got to get got to get better. But if it does, this is why I said bigger. He is one of those bigger receiver guys. He's like your Cooper Kupp, where it's like, why is this 6'2" guy in the slot? That's not really supposed to make sense. So if he has the route running polish, that's probably the best spot for him, in my opinion. Only player Cliff seemed to scheme for was our tight end. I think that was a trust thing more than anything. I think Jaden trusted Zach Ertz to catch the ball in important situations and to beat man coverage, whereas he didn't trust the rest of his guys, at least last season, I should say. Obviously, Terry was on that list when he was in his healthy season. Okay, let me finish this up. Do we have any more big winners or losers to get to? Wow, Lee Hunter had a terrible broad jump, but who cares? That's how I feel. Who cares? He's like 340 pounds. No. Chris McClellan had the second slowest 10-yard split. That's not good. Chris McClellan was like my 7th round draft pick guy. Oh, he weighed 313 too. Yeah, that's not great. That's not great for my guy Chris McClellan. Who was why am I forgetting his name? Zane Durant, the athletic Penn State guy who killed all the tests. Oops, not Penn State. Zane Durant. All right, that's the winner and losers list for now, and we'll come back to it. I'll get you guys back on something you can look at. I just missed David Bailey's rep. I got to go back and I got to watch it. Doing some pass rushing drills now. Those are such quick hands. Good turn the corner. Yeah, that's David Bailey right there. Kieran Crawford going right now. This is someone the Commanders are supposedly very interested in. That's according to Ken Johannesson of Hogs Haven. He said the Commanders, he has heard, are very interested in that man from Auburn. So keep an eye on him. I don't know what it is, but I've been feeling so dehydrated recently. I was going to make a video on the biggest risers and fallers today based on the combine. I'll try to find other guys than you. I'm not trying to copy you. I mean, dude, we're all watching the same thing. It's hard not to notice who's performing well. So do your thing, man. I'm not gonna be jealous or say you stole my notes or anything. It's football. Like we're all it's public television. I don't own any of this. Bailey was never making it to 7, LOL. I think when he first came on the scene, there was a chance, but I don't anymore. Might have been late and was talked about already, but thoughts on the NFL report card? Yeah, we did talk about this. I thought for me, the thing that was most telling was, I mean, Josh Harris got an A+ as an owner, and this is kind of just what I would say to the crowd that's been critical of Josh Harris and saying the reason Adam Peters hasn't spent money is because he doesn't have the money to spend. We've heard it was I think it was Kevin Sheehan said on the show that the Commanders were cash strapped, and then basically they called him And he went on air and retracted that statement the next day. He was like, I was told by people, no, that's definitely not the case. You see the money Josh Harris has put into upgrading the facilities and everything. There's no way that you rise from dead last in the league to top 3 in 2 years if the owner doesn't have money, he's not investing it. So I think it's confirmation of that. And maybe that's, with free agency around the corner, that's probably a good video topic, honestly, is how that kind of disproves the narrative that the Commanders don't have money to spend. I haven't seen any highlights yet. Zane is a regular pick for me in my mocks. He's having a hell of a day out there at the combine right now. I got bad news for you, my friend. I can't wait to see McCoy, the CB1 run. He's not running. He's saving it for his pro day. He has been cleared to run. However, he wants to get a little more training in coming off the torn ACL before he gets out there. So you'll have to wait for his pro day. I'm a really big fan of the Auburn guy, not the bigger edge. I like the smaller, speedier guy. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was really not too familiar with him at all. But when we got the report that the Commanders were interested in him, I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to pay more attention to him. How do you do today? Did he not do the 40? Has he not done anything? Is he only doing the Yeah, I think he's only doing the position drills. Interesting. He didn't do the 40 or the vertical leap or any of that. Surprised I haven't seen any reports on Washington meeting with Arvell Reese. Thoughts? You want my honest thought? I think they did meet with him, or they are going to, and either it hasn't been reported or it hasn't happened yet. That's my honest opinion. I also think they're expecting him to be gone when they pick. I don't think they're naive. I think they see the smoke around him, but I don't believe they're just ignoring him. Either it's not been reported or he's just, again, hasn't happened yet. The combine is on a commercial break right now, and I need to go to the bathroom. So give me 60 seconds, guys, and I'll be right back with you. Hit the like button while I'm gone. Damn. Went to take a leak and I came back and I lost 30 viewers. Can't even go to the bathroom these days. My bad, guys. Somehow I turned my light around in the process. Shout out to DQ getting an A+ on the report card. Hopefully that will attract some free agent defensive players like it did with Luvu a few seasons ago. Not only DQ, and DQ is a big part of it for sure. Don't get me wrong, but not only DQ, but I mean the whole team just getting third overall. Like free agents care about that stuff, man. That matters to them. That's important. So it can't do any harm. It can only be a good thing at the end of the day. They've got Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft up on the bottom of the screen on the scrolling ticker right now. And he has the Commanders taking Arvell Reese at number 7, which is interesting because I haven't seen that in a long time. Aaron Glenn was caught sleeping at the NFL Combine. Oh, they have a video of it. Jets are going to be the first team in NFL history to win -1 games. David Bailey just went. He looks so good, man. Kieran Crawford again. All right, here we go. Ooh. Not a good run. Not impressed. It's so obvious when some of these guys just don't have the move in their bag. I mean, the last 3 people who did a spin move, it looks like they've never done it in their lives before. Over the last couple of years, how many coaches are getting A+ record with a A+ grade with a record and you're 5-12? Yeah, that's no doubt. And that's what we heard all season. The players love DQ through and through. He never lost the respect of the locker room. It's probably a big part of why he still has a job, in all honesty. I'm confused by Reese. I'm honestly not that familiar with him, but it sounds like there's uncertainty about which position he will play. Not uncertainty. I mean, how do I say this? Uncertainty and a lack of clarity mean the same thing, but uncertainty kind of sounds like there's a problem where there's not. I mean, Reese played mostly linebacker, some snaps off the edge in college. He can definitely play. Linebacker in the NFL. But what he had said was he anticipates playing the edge more than linebacker. And certainly the way the NFL is going with pass rushing juice being at a premium, you kind of expect him to be playing edge more than not. So he's certainly got the linebacker skills, but I think he's going to end up playing edge for the most part. And don't forget, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was a linebacker, just like Arvell Reese was in college. That's why that comparison has been drawn so many times. And Micah Parsons started his NFL career playing linebacker. Cowboys moved him to defensive end in, forget when, maybe like week 4, week 6, something like that. So we'll see. Has Joshua Josephs ran the 40 yet? I haven't been watching. I don't even know if he's here. So he did his measurements. He got his measurements taken. He had 34 1/4 inch arms, second longest out of everybody. But I mean, we can look through the tests. I haven't seen him out there. Didn't do the vertical. Didn't do the broad jump. Yeah, I don't think he's doing any testing. I think he just got measured and is waiting for his pro day. I respect the guys who get out there and compete, especially the short draft picks. I mean, like David Bailey doesn't have to be doing this. Rueben Bain's not. David Bailey doesn't have to be doing this, but he's here. He's competing. Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, they don't have to do this, but they are. They want to go out there and they want to test themselves against the best. Oh, I just read this. My bad. What time did I say earlier that the linebackers were supposed to start? Is it 6:30? I texted myself the schedule. Here it is. Um, Linebackers are supposed to start the 40 at 6 o'clock. It's 6:15, and we're still doing position drills for the edges. So this is why I was complaining because they were taking so long. So I guess they'll start when they start. This whole show's supposed to end at around 8:30. Probably looking like it's going to run a little bit past that. See what we're looking at on Twitter in the meantime. How many more position drills do we have left is the question I want to know. Reese over Styles. He's going to get drafted higher. I can guarantee you that. Is he going to be a better player? I don't know. I think the best version of Arvell Reese is better than the best version of Sonny Styles, just by virtue of the position that they play. But I think there's more certainty going back. There's more clarity with Sonny Styles. So I don't know. I think this is a really good question. Ohio State linebacker teammates, both of whom, by the way, I don't know if I'll still be streaming when they go to do their testing, because if I am, that's going to end up being like a 4 or 5 hour stream. And I have a fiance downstairs who I think wants to see me at some point. But when they go, they're going to run really fast. They're going to jump really high. Oh, speaking of, I just said I texted myself the schedule. When are they doing like their, because we didn't see the broad jump and things like that. Is it possible they're doing it now? Flexibility, vertical jump, and broad jump for the linebackers was supposed to start at 4:30. Do we have that on the website here? No. So they must just be really, I mean, they have the participants listed. So they must just be really behind for whatever reason. That sucks. Oh well. I'll wait and see. I got time. Let me text her and see what time she's going to be done. When are you going to be done with your stuff and ready to eat dinner? Question mark. I made dinner last night. I think she's cooking steaks tonight. So I definitely don't want to let those get cold. Fiance combine. True. Thoughts on the Colts being likely to franchise tag Alec Pierce? Absolutely the right move for them. And if you're into fantasy football, pick up Alec Pierce now because they're going to release Michael Pittman Jr. All right, guys, I have 30 minutes left here until it's time for dinner. Players have different days that they're available to meet with teams. Washington will interview everyone of importance. Franchise tag will pay more than he would get on the open market. What is the value of the wide receiver franchise tag right now? The projected non-exclusive franchise tag is approximately $28.8 million. I honestly think that's about what he would get on the open market. I think it's right in there. I mean, they've said they're going to try to work out a deal with him. They're going to try to work out a long-term deal, and if they can't, they'll franchise tag him. But they want to keep him around. I'm making pan-seared salmon with a cream sauce with garlic, shallots, capers, some lemon over with pasta. So I can't eat seafood. However, I can acknowledge that sounds really good. So I hope you have a fun night. If we made that pan-seared salmon, we'd make some chicken, a little bit of chicken, then I'm all in. I'm all in for that. Sounds good, though. Our dinner last night was pretty simple. It was actually something that I had as a kid growing up a lot. My parents used to make it for me all the time. Again, it's very simple. It's not like gourmet food, but it was pasta with butter and Parmesan cheese, some griddled ham, and then whatever veggies you want. We did broccoli last night. We cooked in the broccoli in the pan, put some Parmesan cheese on that as well, and just mix it all together in a little bowl. Oh man, you're allergic to seafood? Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately. I don't really care. It smells terrible to me. People tell me I miss out. I wish I could eat it for some health benefits sometimes, but I don't really miss it. I can deglaze the pan. Ugh. We're at the point in the combine where it's like, all right, we're here to watch Arvell Reese. We're here to watch Sonny Styles. I would like to see them run the 40 and do some other things. Jump high, look strong, run fast. Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl to win 6 Super Bowl rings, 2027 Super Bowl 61. I have no clue how this Washington Commanders stream ended up in your algorithms. Good luck to you. I think there's a lot to like about your offense. I'm a big fan of Christian Parker. I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear that. But yeah, I like Christian Parker. I think he's coming from a really good system with the Eagles. I went to high school with his younger brothers. I didn't overlap with Christian, but his younger brother's only a few years younger than him, and I was there with them. Very smart people, very nice people, very accountable, good humans. So good luck to you this year. We'll see. Don't think you're winning the Super Bowl, but nonetheless, good luck to you. What does Super Bowl odds look like? I don't know if I can put betting odds up on the screen without YouTube flagging that as betting content. So I'm not going to try it. The Cowboys have plus 3,000 Super Bowl odds, which if we translate that to probability is 3.2% chance. Trey, you're in here. You're lurking. You didn't say anything. Cowboys fans think they are winning the Super Bowl. Always think they're winning the Super Bowl. Cowgirls going nowhere. Yeah, see, Ken, I mean, like, you knew what you were doing when you came in here. You knew you were inviting the smoke when you walked in here and said that. Thoughts on Dylan Thieneman? He's moved up a lot the past month. I think he's a really good player. I think he's just one of those really high floor guys who can be an all-around guy. He's big. He can play man coverage in the slot. That's a lot of what you want people to do. He's someone who wants to fit the run aggressively so he can take on the role of a linebacker while still giving you the safety coverage. So I think he is very much sort of the prototypical modern safety. He said he wants to run 4.3 in the 40, and if he does, he might compete to get into the first round. I think he'll be a good player. I don't know if he's going to walk. Really, I don't think he's going to walk into the league and dominate. But I think by like year 2, year 3, even looking at him and saying that's a pretty good player right there. Reese will certainly be gone by pick 7, maybe Bain or Styles, I would think, depending on free agency. I wouldn't be against Love. Corey, unfortunately, you missed the 30-minute Jeremiah Love conversation, so I'm not going to relitigate it. But if you do want to check it out, it did happen earlier on. We were looking at some different stats and things like that. And certainly there are people who are both for and against the Jeremiah Love pick. I feel bad that I'm keeping you guys looking at this screen. Like I want to move it around. I want to give you something, but I don't really know what to give you because nothing. I mean, there's no new times that are flooding in. All I can do is keep checking for linebackers to see. Oh, here we go. Speak of the devil. So we don't have anything except for the vertical leap. Sonny Styles with a 43.5. Dude. That's like what Anthony Edwards jumps. What? I need to see. Trey, I just saw your text. I sent myself something earlier about Sonny Styles has a chance to make history at the combine. I need to see if I saved that somewhere. I'm gonna be so mad if I didn't. Oh wait, I think I found it. I did. Here, I'll show you guys. No linebacker has checked all four of those boxes. 240 plus pounds, sub 4.5 40-yard dash, 11-foot broad jump, 40-inch vertical. Sonny Styles, if we go back and we look at his profile, he is already measured in at 6'5", 244 pounds. So he's above 240. He crushed the 40-inch mark. He crushed it. He's at 43 and a half. So now all he has left is the 11-foot broad jump and the sub 4.5 40-yard dash. If he's getting that kind of vertical leap, I would assume he's going to have the broad jump too. And I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to go sub 4.5. Damn. Is Sonny Styles making like a super late push to get into the top 5? Cowboys suck. Is the combine over today? No, it is not. I'll pull the schedule back up. One sec. They're talking about Sonny Styles' vertical leap right now in the background. So Thursday today we had the DL, well, interior and edge. We had linebackers. Tomorrow, Friday, we have DB, we have corners, safeties, and tight ends. On Saturday, we have running backs. I think this is quarterbacks and wide receivers. Yeah, it's got to be wide outs. They put WO instead of WR for some reason. So Saturday is running backs, quarterbacks, and wide receivers. And then Sunday is offensive linemen. So you're going to get it broken up across the entire weekend. Fine. It's supposed to wrap up around 4:30 p.m. Eastern with the offensive linemen on Sunday. So we'll have updates rolling in for the next few days for sure. Sonny's smart as a whip as well. Yeah, when you listen to him talk, I mean, the Ohio State guys as well, they're just so buttoned up and they've got such a great culture there, but then also they recruit the right players. And that's something that Caleb Downs, I think it was Caleb Downs, he was asked about, and he says they just recruit the right guys and they know how to communicate with each other. And I mean, that's what it seems like. And also, they got to play for Matt freaking Patricia. They got to play for Bill Belichick's defensive coordinator. I think you meant to say over for the day, but no, they're not. Oh, is the combine over today? If you meant over for today, no, we still have the linebackers to come. And if you meant over period, it runs through the end of Sunday. Styles jumping in style to enter the top 10 draft. Styles jumping in style to enter the top 10 in the draft. Yeah, so okay. Let's go back and look at the oops. That's not what I was trying to do. Let's go back and look at the mock draft here. So realistically, would any team above the Commanders take him to be their middle linebacker or off-ball linebacker? Doesn't matter. Giants, probably the one that I would think maybe they could use him. I don't think he'll jump that high, though. I do think he could go number 7, though. And he's projected to go 12 now. I think he could easily go in the top 10. They're showing his vertical leap right now, and I got to go back and watch it. I wish I could show it to you guys. Yeah, they're showing the replay right now. Let's see. Oh my goodness. That's so crazy. For people who don't know, Sonny Styles was playing safety as of 2 years ago. He just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can't be a 240-pound safety. So they moved him down to linebacker. And I mean, he's still huge for a linebacker. 6'5" puts him in the top puts him in the top 10%. I can only imagine where the vertical leap is. Oh, actually, they just had a stat on the screen and I skipped it. It was something about highest by any player 6'4" or taller since 2003. The highest vertical leap by anybody 6'4" or taller. And keep in mind, he's not 6'4", he's 6'5". Yeah, that dude's a weapon. Styles is projected to run in the mid to high 4.5 second time. I hope he can go sub 4.5 because we're looking at it. Nobody's ever ticked all those boxes we were looking at earlier. Yeah, Sonny is a freak athlete. Downs my number 1 pick. Downs is still my number 1 pick for the Commanders too, but I'm so on board with Sonny Styles. I'm from the future, guys. Washington took Styles at 7. All right. We had someone early on whose name was Truth Teller, and they said the Commanders were taking David Bailey. So either Truth Teller is lying or you're not actually from the future. Although Downs is my favorite prospect in the draft, Styles could make it to maybe 12. Where do you watch the combine? I'm just watching it on YouTube TV is what I have, but I can't show it on stream or else they would take my stream down and probably block my channel. So fortunately can't do that. Yeah, Giants with Harbaugh as far as the potential landing places. If there is one above the Commanders for Sonny Styles, I sure hope he doesn't actually end up in Dallas. Trey, I got really bad news. I think either Downs or Styles is going to Dallas. I think the way the board shapes up, you know what? I'll put Jeremiah Love in there too. But I think the way the board shakes out, one of Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, or Caleb Downs will be playing for Dallas, which is going to absolutely suck. Most mocks have the Giants going Tate or offensive line. They do, for sure. Yeah. And I don't, to be clear, I don't think they will take Sonny Styles, but I was just trying to find one potential landing spot of a team picking that high, and they would be the team because it's not going to be the Raiders. It's not going to be the Jets. It's not going to be the Cardinals. The Titans are a maybe, and I guess they just traded for an edge rusher, but even still, I think Arvell Reese's potential upside is going to put him up there. So I think if it's going to be above the Commanders, it's going to have to be the Giants at 5. And then Browns got Schlesinger. I don't think they would go linebacker. I mean, they don't have their entire starting offensive line is a free agent right now, which is insane. I don't know if that's ever happened before. They have 5 quarterbacks, and yet they don't even know if they have a quarterback at all. They need a receiver. So like it just can't be Sonny Styles. A girl texted me, LOL, I heard that. I said, what did I say? I've used up 15 of my 30 minutes, which means I got 15 more minutes until steak time. Bailey going 2. That's what some mock drafts are saying. Some are also saying Rueben Bain now. And this is so classic. I mean, Arvell Reese has been the consensus guy at number 2. Nothing has happened. And then as the combine starts, no, it's not Arvell Reese. It's going to be David Bailey. I'd be nothing but smiles with Styles. You guys are killing some of these puns and rhymes here. Anyone from Ohio State would help us. It's so funny how you could just say that. Give me someone. In years past, it's been Georgia or Alabama. Now it's just, if you go to Ohio State, like, close your eyes, random draw. Yeah, you can help. We'll take you. God, I hope Styles is the pick. The number 7 overall pick is a very powerful pick. For example, you could get almost anyone. Downs, Lane Styles, even TJ. Why did you include TJ Parker in this? Why would you do that? Sorry, I'm not going to do that again. I don't really use the soundboard. I just remember that I had it. Enjoying this Grant channel, knows the stuff and communicates in a refreshing way. Cole, I appreciate you, my man. I don't know if you're coming from YouTube or Twitter, but whichever one you are not coming from, check out the other one because I'm on there all the time. But I appreciate the positive words, just like I do from everyone who is joining here, me hanging out in here. How do you feel about what you saw at the combine and from some of the top players? I think the guy, I had made a list. I don't know if you were in here when I started doing this, but I made a list of winners and losers, which obviously we've got a lot left in the combine. So there's a lot still to go. But these are some of my winners and my losers. I put LT Overton because his performances stunk. Rueben Bain didn't do anything, but his measurements were bad, which, to be fair, we kind of thought they were. Everybody, I'll say this about Rueben Bain. Everybody's talking about the arm length thing, and I understand why, because he's got tiny little T-Rex arms. But for me, it's the weight that's the bigger deal. When people compare Rueben Bain and David Bailey, they were saying David Bailey's too light to stop the run. And first of all, it was a misnomer. The numbers don't support that. The numbers tell you David Bailey is better at defending the run than Rueben Bain is. But that's more of a team thing. Okay, it's harder to measure, whatever. We'll talk about their profile. People were saying Rueben Bain's listed at 275, which he is. You type in Rueben Bain Jr. ESPN. You go to his page. He's listed at 275. David Bailey's 245. Okay, so 30-pound difference. Yeah, it's reasonable to say Rueben Bain would be a better run defender. For David Bailey to be 251 and Rueben Bain to be 263 instead of 275, we've gone from a 30-pound differential to 12 pounds. Rueben Bain is 13 pounds underweight, according to what he was listed at. So for all the talk about the arm length stuff, the weight thing is a much bigger deal for me, honestly. So I put Rueben Bain as a loser today. And then the top four, Malachi Lawrence. This is no order. If it was ordered, Cassius Howell would probably be at the bottom. But Zane Durant's been balling. Caleb Banks had some really freaky numbers for such a big dude. And then Malachi Lawrence, we were looking at his advanced stats. Again, I don't know if you were in here earlier when we were doing that. Malachi Lawrence very quietly had some really impressive advanced stats this year, and he showed up. Where was he for the he was second in the 40. David Bailey was first at 4.50. He got second at 4.52. His 10-yard split was also second. Cassius Howell was first at 1.58. He was second at 1.59. He was second in the vertical leap, 40 inches. He was second in the broad jump, 10'10". So really good day for Malachi Lawrence. He's probably number one on my winners list. Cowboys draft Manti. When was Manti Te'o in college, man? Manti Te'o hasn't been in college since 2012. The poor guy. He had 7 interceptions. So I went to his ESPN page. I was looking at his numbers. He had 7 interceptions as a linebacker in one season. That's wild. But Manti Te'o, come on. The guy's had a girlfriend since 2012. We got to let him go. I didn't even notice that until you said it. I don't know what we're talking about right now. So that's my fault because I wasn't paying attention in real time. Are we talking about the Rueben Bain thing, the weight thing? Anything is possible. Kevin Garnett has entered the chant. I think you mean Jason Tatum has entered the chat, right? What did Tatum say? He's like, "We did it. We did it." I hope that Zane Durant falls to us in the 3rd round. Zane is projected, according to Tankathon, Zane is projected to go in the middle of the 4th. Who's your choice at 7? Caleb Downs, number 1. Caleb Downs, number 1. The Sonny Styles testing. Oh, I can't be prisoner of the moment. I love Sonny Styles. I love Sonny Styles. But Caleb Downs, number 1. David Bailey, number 2. And then either Carnell Tate or Sonny Styles at 3. What if we trade down and grab McNeil Warren and with the extra pick, grab Brazel? Well, I would certainly hope you'd be getting more than just Brazel because I think Brazel's going to go in the 3rd. And if you're trading down to get McNeil Warren, you're probably drafting or trading down to like 20. So the points chart would put that more in your favor. You'd be getting like probably a 2nd and a 3rd if you were to do that. Be well, Full Command Show. Salute the chat, fam. Appreciate you, Lone Star Steph. Is this Stefan? I'm taking a guess here. STEF, Steph. I'm going to guess Stefan, but I appreciate you nonetheless, my man. Are the Giants looking at Caleb Downs? For sure. For sure. There's got to be a general consensus that Caleb Downs is one of, if not the best football players in this draft. It's just the simple fact that he plays safety, which is going to hold him back. Hit that like button with it for sure, guys. We only got about 10 or 15 minutes left in the live stream before I'm going to head out and I'm going to go eat dinner, but I appreciate you guys all being in here. And even if you've only been here for like 5 minutes, when this video gets posted afterward on YouTube, just as a video, every like helps. So I appreciate you guys being in here and supporting the channel. Speaking of Coles, do you think Cole Payton is a worthwhile pick as a developmental backup quarterback? There's a lot of people who are super high on Cole Payton, and I'll be honest, I know very, very little about him. I have not done any quarterback scouting. All I've done is watch quarterbacks during the season, but I've not done quarterback scouting, and I barely watched Cole Payton play. I'm not for drafting a developmental quarterback right now. When I did my mock offseason simulation, I had Mitch Trubisky as QB2, Sam Hartman as QB3. It's just way too soon to draft a developmental quarterback right now. And I get it. They did it with Kirk Cousins and RG3, and that kind of worked out because you had a transition. But I firmly believe that Jaden Daniels is not RG3. So I wouldn't waste the pick. The smiles for Styles, corny. That's a comment I made. Smiles for Styles is kind of cool, though. I'm not even going to lie. It's catchy. Cowboys need corners and edges for show. Cover linebacker, too. They need everything on defense, man. Aside from defensive tackle. Say no Cowboys chat. Yeah, for real. Why are we talking about Dallas so much? We got to let this go. I don't think David's going to be there at 7 anymore after this. I don't either. We get through free agency, we'll have a better idea of how this is going to go down. For sure. Yeah, I mean, mock drafts and stuff and all that, like, it's fun. It's fun in games, and it's cool to speculate. Gives me great content as a YouTuber. But if you want to really know, you got to see what your team does in free agency. Yes, sir, Stefan, good guess. All right, bet. I'm going to remember that. Trades might be minimal since there are so few blue chip players this year. Teams may also be saving picks for next year's quarterbacks class. Yeah, I think there might be a run on Ty Simpson at some point. The question is, where is he going to land? Where's he projected to go right now is my question. Ty Simpson, according to Tankathon is my favorite website for mock draft stuff. They have Ty Simpson going 34th to the Cardinals. I could see the Rams making a play for him in the late first round. I could see, who could I see? I could see the Jets. They pick 33rd. I could see the Cardinals at 34. I could see the Browns at 39. The Browns at 24 as well. They've got a lot of picks. They can make a move for him. I can see the Steelers at 21. I can see the Vikings at 18. So he's the one guy where there's a lot of uncertainty and people might be moving around to get him. But going back to the conversation about the Commanders should trade back, well, who are they going to trade back with? Nobody's trading up to get Mendoza because he's going to the Raiders first. And after that, like, the only guy I think people would trade up to get is probably Arvell Reese. And I don't know that the teams would be willing to trade back. And I say that because Arvell Reese has he's so much of an unknown in the sense that if you unlock the best version of him, you've got Micah Parsons on your team now. Even if David Bailey is better right now at this moment, people don't look at David Bailey as winning Defensive Player of the Year one day in his career. People think Reese could do that. Other than that, I don't think anyone's trading up for Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Love or Mansour Delane or Styles or Lemon. So, yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot more teams looking to trade back than there are teams that are looking to trade up. Sam Hartman is here because he's JD's 5's best friend. I agree. I don't think he's good, but this is when I did my mock off season, this is what I said. Why do you want a good quarterback 3? Genuinely. Why are you spending money for a good quarterback 3? Because if quarterback 3 is playing, your team is screwed anyway. So what does it really matter? You think Downs' football IQ is greater than Styles? I mean, to be fair, there's so much that goes into this. It's really hard to know. I do think Downs is the smartest player in this draft, but that's also watching from afar. So I can give you my opinion, but my opinion is not really based on much fact. Can we do an off-season simulation? We did an entire here. Let me go find the video. I will drop. Is it possible for me to reply to this? No. Okay. DMV Mateo. I just sent in the chat a link to that video. We did a full like 2 hours going over it. I'm trying to think of anything that might have changed. We did go after Alec Pierce, and he's basically off the board now. So that will have to change. But other than that, as far as I'm aware, everything else is still in play. So it should still be informative. And just swap out Alec Pierce for Brandon Ayuk, and then just go about the rest of the video as we did in the video. Do you think next year's edge rushers class are better than this year's? I'm honestly not all that familiar with next year's edge rushers. Let me go take a look at who's even available. I know it's a quarterback heavy draft. Edge rusher prospects 2027. Colin Sims, Dylan Stewart. Oh, okay. Uiagalelei, Quincy Rhodes. It's tough to know until we get another year of them playing, but there are some really good players here for sure. Kenyatta Jackson. Is it better than this year's class? I don't know. I got to get another year, see how they play in their final year. But I can tell you there's a lot of potential here. Simmons, Stewart, Perkins, and Uiagalelei are all really, really good. And I like Quincy Rhodes. He'll probably, if you were to make the draft happen today, he would be a day 2 player. Maybe he's a day 1 player next year. We'll see. But he's someone to keep an eye on as well. Hot take, forget Edge, go get Styles. Dude's a dog. All right, Jacob, here's a question. David Bailey and Arvell Reese are on the board. Are you going to get Styles over them? Let me know. I think Love could be a trade up target. I just don't see that with the way the NFL has turned its back on running backs. I think it's moving in the opposite direction. I don't see that happening. Only QB3 situation I can think of that was decent was Montana, Young, and Bono. Again, if you've got Jaden Daniels as your quarterback and you're depending on a QB3, just let it go. The season's over. Go get yourself a draft pick. What do you think the best position to go for in this year's draft? Well, see, this is an interesting question because a position like safety, I guess to be fair, Thieneman's caught a lot of buzz. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren has caught a lot of buzz. But there's a lot of mid and late round safety prospects. Like, for example, Cole Wisniewski from A&M is someone I like a lot. I think Cassius Howell just injured himself. That didn't look good. But yeah, there's a lot of late round picks. I think defensively, there's just a lot of guys like that. I think interior offensive line is probably the thinnest, which I know isn't what you asked me. But there's a couple of guys I like, which I've talked about on my channel. I like Pat Coogan. I like Logan Jones. I like Bryce Foster. But overall, I think that's one of those positions where I'm not sure you're going to find a great depth guy. And then I would probably say safety. I think there's a really good, the top end talent with Downs, Thieneman, and McNeil-Warren, and then the value in the late round picks as well. I would say safety. I appreciate the combine coverage, but go Giants. This turned into a Cowboys chat at one point. Now it's a Giants chat. Look, I welcome everybody. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you rocking out, but this is a Commanders channel. And if they come for you in the comments, I can't do anything about that. The dogs are off the leash, so you got to deal with what comes your way, my man. Sonny Styles' 43.5 vertical leap would rank number 1 out of every position in the last 2 combines. Crazy. Jacob says, I'd get Styles over Bailey right now. Guy is destroying the combine. Has Reese gone yet? Want to wait until I see him. I didn't see his vertical leap when I checked. Let me go back and look. Okay, so he didn't do the vertical leap. He did not do the broad jump either. So I know he is doing the 40. I know he's doing the 40, and I think he's doing position drills as well. So we'll see him. Sonny Styles has finished his broad jump. He cleared 11 feet 2 inches. So he is on the verge of making history. Let me put this back on the screen. Sonny Styles has weighed in at 244 pounds, so he's cleared that. He has jumped 11 feet 2 inches, so he's cleared that. And he's jumped 43.5 inches, so he's cleared that. No linebacker has ever checked all 4 of these boxes. All he needs to do is go sub 4.5 in the 40-yard dash, and he will have done it. So potentially a historic combine for Sonny Styles. Damontae Capehart was also a winner with his performance today. How did he do? I was at the gym when the defensive tackles were going, so I didn't see a lot of what they did. Third in the vert. Fourth in the 40. I know it wasn't bad. Certainly wasn't bad. I don't know if he quite distinguished himself, but solid. For sure solid. All right, guys. I think I'm going to start to wrap up here. I think dinner is calling my name. I believe in 2 to 3 years that Malik Neighbors will be with JD5. The Giants are going to franchise tag him, but after that, definitely wouldn't surprise me. Reese is Project Tweener. Don't want him. I like Bishop. Yeah, Bishop Fitzgerald. He's another one. He's really good as well. I'm in VA. It's all commies fans where I'm at, so I used to it. Without positional value, what should be the Commanders' #1 target, offense and defense in free agency? Positional value completely out of it. This team needs linebackers. This team needs linebackers. 4.85, talking about Capehart, definitely helped him. If Styles can get a sub 4.5 40-yard dash, I see no logical reason not to get him. Yeah, I mean, the dude was built in a lab. This is perfect timing because the edge rushers are getting off the field. The linebackers are about to get on, and dinner is ready. So I think it's time for me to wrap up. Over 2 hours on the stream, guys. If you were in the live stream here and you enjoyed it, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you have hit the follow button on Twitter as well. This is really fun. It's me and my girl's 2-year anniversary this weekend, so I can't promise that there are going to be any live streams over the weekend. But if there is an opportunity, I will definitely take it. And I'm sure I'm going to see you guys very soon because fun stuff going on right now. Don't let that steak get cold. Exactly. Appreciate you guys understanding. Yeah, we got the combine coming up. We got, or not the combine. We got the draft coming up. We got free agency coming up, all that. So it was a bunch of fun. Save me a piece. I will for sure. Not really. I'm greedy. I'm taking it all. Guys, I appreciate y'all being here, rocking out with me. It was a bunch of fun. I'll catch you in the next one and have a great day. See you soon.